According to a report from Hugo Scaccia in Sport, Barcelona's pre-season preparations may have been overshadowed by a heated incident between Fermin Lopez and Gavi. The controversy began when Fermin posted a cryptic Instagram story, which he later deleted. Sources now suggest this post could be connected to an altercation with his teammate. It is understood that the two players, Fermin and Gavi, exchanged heated words and came close to physical confrontation during a recent dispute. Those present at the time reportedly had to step in to separate them and prevent the situation from escalating. While the root cause of the disagreement remains unclear, whispers from inside the dressing room suggest that tensions have been building. Gavi's complaint to the higher authority. Some reports claim that Gavi took the matter directly to Alejandro Echeverria, one of the most influential figures at the club. He allegedly requested that Fermin be placed on the transfer list, a move that quickly reached the midfielder's ears. This revelation is believed to have prompted Fermin's controversial Instagram post. Both Fermin and Gavi are considered key players for Barcelona heading into the new season. Losing either one, especially due to an off-field dispute, would be seen as a major setback for the club. With their importance to the squad, a transfer involving Fermin would not only weaken the team but also disrupt the chemistry in the dressing room. Hansi Flick to shoulder a responsibility. At this point, many believe the only person capable of mending the situation is Hansi Flick. As the new manager, his ability to manage personalities and maintain unity will be vital. Sitting both players down, encouraging open dialogue and finding common ground could restore their friendship and ensure harmony within the squad. If not handled properly, this rift could hurt Barcelona far more than it benefits either player. The sooner it is resolved, the better it will be for the team's hopes this season. FC Barcelona are done with their pre-season preparations for the upcoming 2025-26 season and aren't far away from having to play their first La Liga game of the season against Mallorca. Hansi Flick has done a very good job with trying different permutations and combinations in the pre-season friendlies. However, now, as per Mundo Deportivo, Hansi Flick's possible starting 11 against Mallorca is already obvious, based on what he has done in pre-season and also considering last season's hierarchy. In goal, new signing Joan Garcia is likely to take his place between the sticks. Marc-Andre ter Stegen is out injured, and Iñaki Peña is not in Flick's plans. Szczesny is likely to be the backup on the night. Of course, both players are yet to be registered. The heart of the defense is likely to have Ronald Araujo and Pau Cubarsí as the first-choice central defensive partnership. Andreas Christensen and Gerard Martin are set to be alternatives. Alejandro Balde is nailed in to start at left-back. The midfield picks itself with Frenkie de Jong keeping his place ahead of Gavi and Marc Casado. Pedri is also a nailed-in starter. For the number 10 role, Fermin Lopez started in the absence of Dani Olmo against Como, and he was unstoppable, scoring an excellent brace in the first half. Even if the ex-Leipzig man is fit, the former should get the nod against Mallorca. In attack, Rafinha and Lamine Yamal are locked in to start on the left and right, respectively. Coming to the number 9 position, Ferran Torres is likely to get the nod ahead of Marcus Rashford in Lewandowski's absence. The only question mark that Flick is said to have in his starting 11 as per the report, is the right-back role. Kound was the first choice last season, but his injury and Eric Garcia's flawless performance in that role have raised some question marks. Regardless of which of the two Flick chooses, it looks like he will start a very strong 11 against Mallorca in La Liga. Let's wait and see if Barcelona can get off to a winning start. According to a recent report from Sport, Barcelona youngster Dani Rodriguez could be heading towards the exit door due to the overcrowding in the first team. The 20-year-old winger, who recently returned to training with Barca Athletic, is still working his way back from a shoulder injury suffered while playing for the senior side last season. Hansi Flick has shown faith in Rodriguez from the start, even telling the player that he would be part of Barcelona's pre-season plans. Unfortunately, his injury halted those plans, leaving his immediate future uncertain. What's the problem? The main issue now is competition for places in the first team. With Rooney Bargi seemingly ahead of him in the pecking order for the role that supports Lamine Yamal's position, Rodriguez's chances of regular first-team football look slim. Barcelona would prefer to keep him in the reserve team and give him opportunities when possible. However, the player is reportedly reluctant to play in the second RFEF, especially after turning 20 and receiving offers from Segunda A clubs and teams abroad. Flick keeping tabs. Rodriguez's agent, Pini Zahavi, maintains a strong relationship with the club, and discussions over his next step are expected to take place in the coming weeks. While the player's ambition is to play at a higher level, Barcelona's management must decide whether to loan him out or risk losing him permanently. Meanwhile, Barca Athletic coach Juliano Belletti is eager to have Rodriguez back to full fitness for the new campaign as the side pushes for a return to a higher division following relegation to the RFEF Segunda. At the same time, Flick continues to monitor the winger's progress closely and intends to keep him connected to the first-team environment once he is fully fit. Barcelona manager Hansi Flick has been forced to readjust his plans in the final week before their La Liga debut, following the departure of defensive linchpin Iñigo Martínez. The Basque defender terminated his deal with the Catalan Giants before completing a move to Saudi Arabia to join Cristiano Ronaldo at Al-Nassr. It was a loss that hit Flick hard, with Martínez providing a general-like presence in his backline, and often setting the line for their much-vaunted offside trap. However, with the 34-year-old frees up some room in Barcelona's salary limit, as they look to register Marcus Rashford and Joan Garcia, although President Joan Laporta has added to doubts about their ability to do so before the start of La Liga. Barcelona could make one final move for defender. Although it is not predicted that they will make a move for an established Iñigo Martínez replacement, sports say it is not completely off the table that they do bring in a defender. First and foremost, the registrations of Garcia, Rashford, and new contracts for Gerard Martin, Marc Bernal and Wojciech Szczesny. They say youngster Rooney Bargi, who arrived from Copenhagen, will likely be registered as a Barca Athletic player for the time being. Sport explained that Director of Football Deco is now browsing the market to see if a player under the age of 23 could come and be registered with Barca Athletic too, with a chance to play for the senior side too. Since MD have confirmed that Deco will speak with Flick about a new addition. Barcelona options at centre-back. They say the most likely scenario is that nothing happens, but that Flick would like an extra option at the back. Currently Flick has Ronald Araujo, Andreas Christensen, Pau Cubarsí and Eric Garcia as options at centre-back, but both Garcia and Jules Koundé are slated to play at right-back for the most part. Araujo and Christensen have both been injury-prone over the last year or two, hence perhaps the use of left-back Gerard Martin in pre-season. Sergi Dominguez, the Barca Athletic centre-back most called on last season, has been sold, while Andres Cuenca and Alexis Olmedo are the most obvious names to step up. Following a splendid win over Como in the Joan Gamper Trophy, Barcelona will now shift focus to their season opener against RCD Mallorca this weekend. However, as Barca approach this game, uncertainty continues to loom around the participation of new signings, Joan Garcia and Marcus Rashford. Both players are yet to be registered in Barcelona's La Liga squad and are, therefore, not eligible to play against Mallorca as of now. Rashford unlikely to feature against Mallorca. According to Mundo Deportivo hat-tip FCB World, Rashford is expected to miss the Mallorca game owing to this uncertainty regarding his registration. This is in contrast to reports yesterday, which suggested that Rashford may feature against Mallorca, as Barcelona are hopeful of registering him in time. However, it appears Barca are now prioritizing the registration of Joan Garcia for now, at least until the Mallorca game is done and dusted. This is hardly surprising as Barcelona do not have any options in the goalkeeping department unless they want to start with Marc-André ter Stegen. In contrast, the attacking unit has no shortage of options, with several stars such as Rafinha and Ferran Torres, both of whom can operate in the false nine role. There are even more options for Hansi Flick in the wide attacking positions, including the likes of Dani Olmo, Gavi and Fermin Lopez. Rashford's absence, therefore, won't have a big impact on Barcelona, although his lack of participation will put psychological pressure on the club as they struggle to register the two new signings. The coming days, therefore, could prove to be critical for Barcelona as they race against time to register Garcia and Rashford.